you tell us a little bit about the famous fourth floor study
Sure.
that a lot of people in linguistics get fascinated about?
Yeah.
Because I heard it was a legendary.
Yes. So the fourth floor study or the department store study was part of a larger, I guess, um, a larger research project that William Labov conducted in the 1960s. He was looking at features of New York English. And one of the features he was looking at was the pronunciation or non pronunciation of the letter R in particular contexts. So, specifically, whether people pronounced an R at the end of a word or before a consonant. Um, there are certain varieties of English that pronounce the R in those, in those conditions, and others that don't. So typically, you would say a received pronunciation in England, for example, is non-rhotic or R-less in that the R isn't pronounced there. So somebody might say something, they might not pronounce the word in force, for example, but they would pronounce it if it's between vowels. So
Mm.
New York historically was like this as well, and you can hear this if you listen to, say, FDR's speeches. You can hear that he doesn't pronounce the R in a lot of those places. And it's similar to what you can hear in JFK's speeches because Boston historically is non-rhotic as well.
Mhm.
Okay, so there's some foundation for you.
Yeah.
So Labov was doing this larger study looking at several different features, but one of them happened to be this R, and he was looking at influence of social class, and he was also looking at the effect of the amount of attention somebody's paid to their speech as they were talking. So he went into three different department stores that were catering to different social classes in their clientele.
Sure.
I I could be wrong on these, but I believe the upper class one was Saks. I think the middle one was Macy's, and the more of the working class was Kline's. I'd have to check those to be sure, but I think those are the
I think they're the
okay. I think those are the right stores. At any rate, so the clientele could be divided by social class, and so the employees at the store would be speaking a variety of English that would be similar to what people of that class would be using. So he would go into each of these stores and he would approach an employee at the store and he would ask for something that he knew was located on the fourth floor of the store. Um, and then when the person would respond with saying, fourth floor,
Mm.
then he would act like he didn't understand them or he didn't hear them, and then they would repeat it
Uh-huh.
again a little more carefully than they did before. Just like anyone would. If you think somebody didn't hear you, you're more careful in the next pronunciation, right?
Right.
And then he would document, he would, go hide around the corner or something and document whether the person said the R's in both fourth and in floor. Again, New York had historically been a non-rhotic dialect, but at this period of time, the R full pronunciation was I guess, coming into vogue in that area. People were picking up on a more general U.S. standard and
Mm.
pronouncing the R's more. So he would write that down and then he would, repeat that a whole bunch of times. This was a new technique for gathering data called the Rapid Anonymous Survey because it was, fast and anonymous. And he was able to gather a lot of data there that would also corroborate, excuse me, some findings um, that he came to from his interviews and those sorts of things. So basically, what he found was that there were statistically significant differences between the rates of use of R in that context, based on social class of the store, and then also based on this level of carefulness, which Labov used to describe intra-speaker variability, so the way an individual might change the way they speak in different contexts.
Cool.
And so, yeah, so the three different, you could say that there was a higher rate of R pronunciation in the higher class context, and in the careful context. So that influenced kind of um, a lot of sociolinguistic research after that and some of the methodology that people used as well as the theoretical underpinnings. And I, for one, am really excited that the linguistics department here is on the fourth floor of our building
What?
because every time the elevator says that I'm on the fourth floor, I just get reminded of how fun linguistics is. And
Oh,
one day I would really love to have it say fourth floor because then it would be, I don't know.
an inside joke.
right.
Exactly. Just a fun moment for linguists. So, if I ever get any sort of, power over such things, that will be my April Fool's.
I love it.
My April Fool's prank that I would like to do sometime. Well, bucket list, big dreams.